All right, I'll call the meeting to order. Amy, if you take the roll.
Mayor Bogenreich.
Here.
Ms. Burhoop. Here. Ms. Hoffman.
Here.
Ms. Strain. Here. Mr. Tucker.
Here.
And we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance. All right, I'll look for a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And a motion to approve the minutes from July 17th.
So moved.
Second.
I would like to make a minor amendment. I believe it said FEH was the other, and it should have been, it was a different, like FC. FEH is just another architectural firm, and I wanted the right
Okay.
architectural firm, or the right consultant listed.
Okay.
So for the person that made the motion, the person that made the second, would you accept the amendment?
Yes.
I
Oh.
accept the amendment.
Yes.
Good eye.
Okay. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right. Commissioner, Department Head, and Community Board report.
So I'll go first, I guess. I have the Parks and Rec was approached about maybe putting some Christmas lights on the City Hall. So I met with four gentlemen here. We have four young men here tonight who are going to give us presentations on Christmas lights and see if we can't get something, make it more Christmasified around here, to see if we can't get something done. So thank you, gentlemen, for showing up. I appreciate you.
Yeah, and we'll have you come up in just a moment here. And
I was going to ask Rich to come on up and fill everybody in on tomorrow night. National Night Out.
Yeah, time goes quick.
So National Night Out, something North Sioux City's been doing since the early 2000s. So tomorrow from 6 until 8 p.m. at the library across the street here. You come and let the fire department, police department cook hot dogs, hamburgers for everybody in the public. It's open up to anybody that lives around here, Dunes, in our district. We don't push nobody away, so. Hope to see you guys there. There's also going to be 3 water slides. 2 of them be bigger water slides, and there's a smaller one for the children. So hopefully you guys will all show up and let us treat you guys.
Yeah. So we'll wear our bathing suits.
Yes,
We'll
don't
be-
be afraid. I used to go down it, so there's pictures in the front of the paper there with me and my daughter years and years ago, so.
you're a dunk tank?
Nope,
Okay.
just water slides.
There's an idea.
You're more than welcome to come down. There's usually some kids that will get scared, so you gotta go up and help them down, so. It's there to have fun for the public to just see that we're normal people and get to know their neighbors, so.
Will there be a patrol car and a fire truck?
There'll be fire department vehicles there. There'll be probably all of our patrol cars there. And they'll be able to see them, crawl them, turn the lights on if they wish. Probably won't let them turn the sirens on. People get jumpy when you start doing that, but they'll be there to see them and just enjoy the night. Hopefully it's rain or shine, we're gonna do it, so hopefully tomorrow's as nice as it is right now. All right, hope to see you guys all there.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Rich.
Anything else, John?
Just one comment, we're having ribbon cutting for Union Crossing this Thursday at noon. It'll be right there at Union Crossing. There'll be lunch provided, and tours of the homes will be available. So that's from noon to 1 o'clock on Thursday.
All right,
And
thank you.
I would like to let everyone know we're putting the final touches on the new dog park. And we also, in conjunction with that opening, will be our final ice cream social for this season. And so we're very anxious to have people check out the new dog park and have a little ice cream social with us. That will be next Wednesday, August 12th, from 6:30 until 8 at the new dog park on Streeter Drive.
Thank you, Lynn. Anyone else? All right, if none, if you have an item not on the agenda, please come forward, share that with us.
Right.
Robert Baker, 109 South Derby Lane, North Sioux Self-Storage. Thank you for giving me a minute. I'll be as quick as I can. We got to come back here to this again because we're not making much progress. I just want to review that, in January, I put in a building permit. March, we had the attorney. What are we going to do about this? Haven't heard anything. This is a huge issue because April of 2020, McLaury Engineering did a survey and found problems with that easement. August 4th, I brought this up before.
Okay, we're at our 3 minutes, so is this new information we haven't seen?
And I might remind the commission that all this can be addressed at planning and zoning through the variance process, which we have outlined for him now on a letter August 3rd. He's got all the information, a path forward to get his variance. This is not the place for this discussion. The place for this discussion is at planning and zoning. We've outlined Ross has put together a plan that will work, and he refuses to take it to planning and zoning. For what reason, I don't know. This is not where this decision is made. This decision is made at planning and
Andrew
zoning.
told me I'm wasting thousands of
Well,
dollars.
I'm telling you now that it's at planning and zoning, and that's where you need to be. Not here, planning and zoning. Put your variance stuff together, we'll run it through, and we'll see what they say. That you can make your case to them, these guys don't have anything to say about it right now.
I can
so
tell
that-
there's very little management of this city.
We-
That's just like
That's
that
not
letter that I
true.
just gave you.
That is
from
incorrect.
Ross.
Chris, can we move on?
Yeah, we need to move on.
Come to planning and zoning, put your variance together, and we'll get it in front of the planning and zoning committee. If they approve it, we'll move forward. Pretty easy.
All right, I'm putting in portable units, and you can't say anything about it, and I can run them right down the property line, and I'm blocking off the street, and I'm gonna make it a toll street.
Okay.
I promised that 6 years ago. I'm gonna do it. Watch me do it. And Rich knows I can do it. I've done it.
All right, let's move on here. More cheery topic. Christmas lights for City Hall. Oh, I'm sorry, Anna, I cut you off?
First of all, I wanted to thank you guys for mowing down those ugly button weeds across the street. They were getting pretty bad, but
The button weeds will be taken out with the dirt project that we got going.
it was so nice to get them mowed down because it
All of
was-
that stuff will be straightened out when the project's done.
And then I have a question now. When they do the driveways, are they going to do concrete up to the asphalt for the driveway? And when they put the sidewalk, will that all be?
I think so, yeah. There'll be concrete approaches, right, Ross?
Yes, your driveway will be a concrete approach up to the shared use path,
Okay.
and there'll be asphalt beyond that. Unless you want it to come back as concrete, you can do it either way.
Yeah, Would be nice to have it concrete, so it, up to where the asphalt is cut off. That would be perfect, perfect. And then, do they plan on having the sidewalks done before school, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, not before school maybe,
Not before
but shortly after.
Okay, so, yeah, I'll be so glad when it's done. I'm so sick of dirt. Can't even open the
Be
windows.
patient, it'll be here shortly.
Yes, all right. Well, thank you guys very
Okay,
much.
thanks,
For keeping
Ann.
us updated.
No problem.
Thank you, Anna.
Anyone else? All right, move on to Christmas lights for City Hall presentation.
I guess, any one of you guys want to go? I didn't actually create a list of who should go first.
If you plug your machine into that cord, it should work. Yep. I do stress the word should.
I took Anna's spot, I hope that's okay. I was told that right when. I was like, do you want us to, she was really nice about it, I just wanted to make sure it was fair game still.
Well, now you know.
Yeah, I do, right?
Did you have to pay her for it?
I got it out and she said no, so, but we had a nice discussion about the trees, so that was really awesome. I do want to mention the warranty that we offer. It's a 3-year warranty on labor, so if anything ever happens with City Hall, knock on wood, we'll uninstall the lights, put them back on, that's free. And then a lot in our industry say that the lights are lifetime warranty, that's just lifetime of the bulb, which is typically for Celebrite, it's 20 years. If you run them from dusk till midnight, it's about 20 years. We have a 10-year product warranty on that too. So if anything happens.
Single light were to go out, we're going to be able to just replace the single light without having
And part of the reason we're trying to take this is try to find a replacement for the string of light, or the path of lights, or what was it called? Parade of lights.
Parade of Lights.
Where we have a community gathering here at City Hall to,
We have the aluminum channel, we don't use any plastic. The difference in our bulbs, you'll see most of these bulbs have an opaque look to them, they're very easy to spot as well too. To actually make ours invisible, they're a clear bulb and they protrude down. And then so when they're lit, it gives a full 360 effect, so it also glows off the walls too. And you guys have a very unique architecture, I guess I would say, and there's a lot of areas that will really glow, and you'll see a lot more than just the lights across the top. We have the very similar, we're at 12 volt lighting system, so very low voltage. Like I said, we run into the aluminum channel, no plastic parts or pieces. Everything you can run on a timer. We can set all the zones, all the holidays. You can customize basically everything you want on there. Popular right now is we can make it look like the American flag waving across the place. Also, you'll see it in mine, I have some areas of uplighting. You guys have some awesome pillars out there that would really look amazing with the lights shining up. And then through, I guess, that roof area, whatever it's called, I would have lights going up through there and just making that whole internal area entryway glow, along with the Christmas lights too, that you can really see and make them pop. Warranty, we are one of the ones that have the lifetime product warranty, and that's like what they said, it's the lifetime of the bulb. So if you're running the bulbs 24/7 nonstop, you probably get a good 10 years out of them. If you're running them regular, you're 20 plus, almost 30 years out of them. We have a 2-year warranty on labor, but anything that we come out and replace is covered. But any holidays, any colors, anything you can think of.
So you can sync them to music?
for this building because of all the jogs and.
Because of, yeah, because of the architecture part of it and everything, all the jogs, the neat nooks and crannies. That's why I'm a proponent of the residential.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Well, thank you.
Let's set this down here. Hopefully you'll be able to see at least a little bit to kind of get an idea. You guys see that? My name is Ryan Brock, and then I'm gonna hand out both the residential and the commercial one.
Thank you.
I think you've already got that. So, I'm out of Sioux Falls. My business is Nightlights Unlimited. Our product is Owello, based, ignore the E to pronounce it O-L-O. So, Owello, so I started back in 2022. I do this full-time. I have 5 full-time employees. We are Owello's second largest dealer installer in the United States. We install around 27 to 30,000 feet of this a year. Owello, I chose Owello back in 2021, 2022, a large part because I wanted a product that was the highest quality, the highest lifetime rating, IP68 waterproof. So when I do a home show, I put my lights in a fish tank of water. They're running for 7 days, sitting in there. We've got a couple different ways that we can install our lights. We can do a metal down. We can shine them out. For you guys, I personally, and actually the price would be the same either way. I recommended this channel. It's an acrylic channel shining out. That's what we've got on Shields up in Sioux Falls. We put that on there in 2022. It's held up extremely well. And people will ask, how does it hold up against the weather? And I'm like, it's 85 feet up on the peaks of Shields and Sioux Falls. And I go up there once a year or so just to inspect everything, make sure everything's okay. Generally speaking, so I got an IT background too, so we're very analytical type people. So I spent about 6 months, when I first heard of this concept of permanent lighting, I spent 6 months researching everything, because I think I was the first company to get started in the state of South Dakota doing permanent lighting. And I spent 6 months researching every single product, every single manufacturer, and ultimately, what I found is OLO is the most expensive, but it also has double the lifespan. It's rated at 100,000 hours. So now we start talking, I go sunset to sunrise, or say 8 hours a day, it should last you 40 years. They have a 7-year warranty. I've done so many of their lights, I know what the product is, I double that to 14 years. And it's just a straight, I don't do like hours, I just go 14 years, we got your product covered. It's a 1-year labor warranty, but we don't have very many callbacks. So OLO's based out of Fort Collins, Colorado. Again, lights are rated at 100,000 hours. The other thing that really impressed me about OLO is they've been doing lighting for 30 years. They've been in business, they have a parent company that's been in business for 70 years, all in the family. Grandfather owned it, passed it to son, now grandson owns it. That was important to me, especially when this was a new concept back in 2021, at least for our area. That was important to me to know, okay, if I start putting this on businesses and on homes and stuff, how do I know 5 years from now, 10 years from now, that somebody's gonna be around to back me up for parts if I need it, et cetera, that they're not just gonna disappear. So that's a lot of OLO. Again, I can install this many different ways inside your building. If you look at some of the pictures, the way our lights shine out, they are a round light. You'll see them, I can see Shields from almost 2 miles away. So when you go south up the hill, you can see Shields a long ways away. We also, there's a city of DeSmet there. We've been doing 4.5 city blocks for the city of DeSmet, as well as a 120-foot archway. OLO is very designed for a custom type application. It'd be the most expensive option there is, but again, in my mind, you get what you pay for. So, any other questions for me?
I got one.
Yeah.
I noticed in your brochure, cloud-based multi-structure.
Yeah.
We've got the library across the street, we've got the police station over there. At
Yep.
some point, I'd like to
Yes.
include those in here.
Yeah.
Would that work under this scenario?
Yes, and I actually have been talking with the fire department, which I've mentioned to Vince too, for 2 years already. But, so inside of our app, and I'll tell you, in my opinion, and you guys might, I think they'll back me up on this, from an app perspective, the apps are very similar. We've all got 20-some different movements or more. There's 16 million colors. There's hundreds of pre-configured applications. And for us, it's all in folders. There's 40-some Halloweens. There's, all these different things. The one thing that I think separates OLO apart, and I'm not 100% sure, is the way that from one app, I can change or schedule all these different buildings. So that picture right there of that year-round brown strip mall, I've got the owner of that strip mall, now we're at Reliant Bank, but the owner of that strip mall has 6 strip malls in Sioux Falls, maybe 7. Anyway, from one schedule, from one app, he controls all of it. He doesn't have to log into this building, out of that building, et cetera. It's just one press of the button or one schedule takes care of everything.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
So one question, Vince, if we eliminated the back side of the building, is it potential we could save 20% or so if we eliminated the rear of the building? Potentially.
Yes.
So that could be a line item we could get from any of you.
I would guess that for everybody else, it's also something, at least for me, I'm assuming everybody else is going to do the same, that it's not hard to say, a couple years from now, you decide you want to add that in, then we just, might take some extra power here or there and we just start adding back on.
Well, I appreciate Vince putting this together, because in the format so that we could see them all together was very helpful. And I wrote down some questions that we have one more?
One more.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we have to-
Sorry about that.
That's terrible. I'm sorry.
Best for last, man.
Okay.
Come on.
My bad.
I want to have you guys pass that around. That's our track. That is also our light. I started we've been doing this for 4 years. We started by my wife saying I want Christmas lights. And I was like, I'm not getting up there. Let me see if I have enough. I'm like, I'm not getting up there. It's too high. I'm scared of heights. So I'll have you guys take a look at that.
Thank
You guys don't have to share?
That's all right.
Is that okay?
I think I already have one anyway.
So we've been doing it for 4 years. I also did, that first season, I took my time in deciding on what brand I wanted to go with, which it was actually Oelo or Jellyfish, believe it or not. So it was one of those two brands just because they were, I mean, you take a look at our product and you take a look at our light, and it just, as soon as I put it in my hand, it was quality. We run on a 4-wire system. So we have, just like everybody else has a power, a data which tells the light what to do, and then also has ground. So everybody has that. We have a 4th wire, which is your redundant data. In case your first data goes out and keeps the lights working. So that was the main reason I ended up going with Jellyfish. And then if you take a look at their product, you take a look at their lights, it's just a hefty light. They put a lot of thought into building their light.
No, that's not it.
It is going to create that nice glow. Let me see if I can share some pictures here. I am not, just because I don't have but I'll pass this around that you guys can kind of take a look. It creates a nice glow. We've done
I know I had
some
him.
projects as well. We just got done this weekend doing Blackbird Casino in Sloan, I think it is. So that was about 800 feet of light. It creates a really pretty glow. Usually you can face them out or facing down. For this situation, I definitely recommend facing them down just because it creates a really good glow on the building. You can create different accents, different patterns, just like everybody else. The light is gonna be, to be honest with you, the light is gonna be just like everybody else's light. They have a good app, they have lots of good features. Ours is a 48 volt. That means more power. We can run longer lengths and a little bit brighter light as well. I'm local. I live out in Whinstone, so there's a couple things that I did differently. Normally, I say what the Oelo guy says. I'm probably the most expensive. I did, for this occasion, this is the first time that we've done it, we dropped the price a little bit just so that we can stay in line with everybody. And normally, our warranty is 1 year parts and labor, so no questions asked, and 5 years parts on our bid. Just because we want to see our lights, we want to see it be local and stay local, we went with a 5-year both parts and labor. So no questions asked, we'll take care of you. I live down the street, so I could stop at any time. Same thing with training. I mean, I can stop in and train anybody that you guys have new. We can always remote in as well for you guys. If you guys need us to, play something else, we can stay logged in and remote access those as well with Jellyfish. Jellyfish has a 15-year lifespan. That's what the system is rated. Just like any LED. Any LED can go out in 2 days or 10 years. So usually what we tell our customers the first month is we want to run those a lot to work any kinks out of the system. So, like I said, usually what I tell my customers, your first year is kind of where you see, you go through the first winter and you go through the first summer where they expand and contract. That's where you'll see any big difference. But like I said, for you guys, we did make a special occasion where we gave you guys 5 years.
Just a general question. As we
Yeah.
look at all these proposals, everything was 850 linear feet, just say.
Yeah.
Is it at the same number of lights for each display, or do some of the displays have more?
So we run on 9-inch spacing. So you could do a 6-inch spacing, you can do a 9-inch spacing, you can do a 12-inch spacing, and you can do a 15-inch spacing on ours. For me, 9-inch is kind of the sweet spot on where the lights kind of look good. That's what I chose for my house individually, so.
So you can specify certain distance apart. How about the rest of you guys?
Yeah.
9 inches is what we quoted, but yeah, we can do a 6-inch, 12-inch, and 10 inches.
And you can control each individual node. And you can control each individual node if you wanted to. On some of those pictures, you can see that there's houses where it just has accent lighting on the house. So, I tell my customers, like, if you're just buying these for Christmas, don't do that, just get regular Christmas lights. Like, if you're buying this product, it's expensive, you know, you want to use it every day. Like, mine come on every day on a schedule, and it's just accent lights, and then we put them on, you know, any holiday or anything that we want to do. So,
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you guys, appreciate it.
So what I'd maybe do, I appreciate this format, like I started to say before I almost preempted him. This was a great presentation, gives us an idea of what they all have. I think that maybe I've got some questions and some commonalities written down that I'd like to talk to some of the other guys about too, and maybe Vince can be part of that, and then we can bring back a recommendation to one of the future meetings. Does that sound fair?
All right. All right, next up is flood recovery. Ross, North Shore reconstruction update.
All right, I don't have anything to present with tonight, no report or anything. So I'll just give you a quick update on what's been happening over the last couple weeks. If you've been by there recently, you'll see that there's a lot of activity, a lot of concrete's been placed over the last week and a day, I guess. We completed the mainline pave in front of the school this morning, and then last week we did from just east of Penrose to the east end of the project, so there's still a gap in the middle for those of you that don't drive through there, and that gap of the mainline paving will be filled in Wednesday. And then along with that, they're going to pave the turn lane for the future connection to the bypass road. So we'll have kind of two stretches of paving going on Wednesday. Tomorrow's just going to be a setup day. Probably more setup on Thursday and Friday. They plan to pave the turn lane for the elementary school, which is a longer turn lane, quite a lengthy stretch. But that should have secure strength over the weekend and then allow them to get into the school driveway approaches next week. So we're going to time it. I don't know which one we're going to start with yet, but we're going to have to, leave those in place until Monday, essentially. Do all the removals, grading work, prep, and then sometime over the course of the next week, we plan to pave back both of those driveway approaches and have them hopefully at strength before school starts the following week. So that's kind of the main objective right now, is to get everything, the mainline paving done on North Shore, and then anything in front of the driveway, school driveway approaches. And then in the meantime, there'll be several smaller pours with, box outs where there's currently inlets, little pieces of fillet intersections. So odds and ends. We're also going to work on talking with the asphalt pavers to hopefully come in next week and pave out either end of North Shore at our tie-ins. Those are going to be asphalt connections. And then there will be small pieces of asphalt to connect into the school driveway approaches and their parking lot. And I'm currently anticipating that we might have to start with school. The first part of school, we'll have to start with temporary gravel in those areas where it's going to be asphalt. And then during the day or over a weekend, we can pull the gravel out and pave it. So that's kind of where we're at right now. I think, sidewalk, driveways, we really want to get that stuff done too, but right now the school work is the priority. And then getting the main line open to traffic. Any questions on North Shore?
So I think the bottom line is, if everything goes right, we should be in line to open that road for the August 18th start of school,
Correct.
which is, I think, good news for everybody. There'll still be a lot of work to be done along there, don't get me wrong, but at least we won't have to use the detour. The only thing that I think would derail that is a major equipment malfunction or 3 days, 4 days of rain, so.
I know I am absolutely giddy about this road being done, and I don't even have to go that way every day. So I'm just so excited that we finally reached this point in our community that we can work together and get this done. And I think it's just a huge step in the right direction to get this road done, so, thank you.
And then the only other thing I was going to add is, I don't have much to update on the flood property grading project, but we did talk to Lieber today, and it sounds like they're anticipating starting that work potentially next week, as far as filling in kind of behind the lots on Penrose and working on the grading and filling on the north side. All right, any other questions?
Thanks, Russ.
All right.
Thanks, Ross. All right, next is McCook Lake Flood Recovery TIF Program Requirements.
Yeah, at 2 meetings ago, the commission set up the McCook Lake Flood Recovery Tax Increment Financing District Number 6. That is, the resolution for that was passed at the July 17th meeting, published, and now it's going through its 20-day comment period, but should be through that shortly. And then the commission asked that we put together some distribution guidelines for how to distribute these funds once the TIF is established. And so we put together this draft program guidelines for how to distribute the money. If you recall, the TIF district, which is outlined on the map, you have that map if you scroll down a little bit. Yeah, right here, right there. So that's the TIF district, and the eligible properties to receive any distribution is within that range. So that all the properties in this district, or this area, lost about $6.4 million in taxable value as a result of the 2024 flood. The commission set up a TIF district to collect the taxes from that $6.4 million, and that'll generate about $2,023,000 over the course of the next 20 years, during which the TIF is operational. So now that $2 million will be distributed through a low-interest forgivable loan program administered by the city. And that loan can be forgiven if, once the project reaches its pre-flood property value. So once it gets to that level, it can be forgiven. Now, the $2 million has been, through a formula, can be distributed per property. The increment that was lost in aggregate was $6 million. Each property made up that $6 million. Each property had an increment that made up that $6 million. So the funds would be distributed pro-rated to that same value. And I'll show you a spreadsheet here shortly, hopefully. Got it, anyway. So to be eligible for this program, the property must be located within the boundaries of the TIF district, which is right there. The applicant must have owned the property at the time of the 2024 flood. The increase in taxable value must be a result from eligible repairs, reconstruction, rehabilitation, new construction activities associated with flood recovery. The applicant must provide documentation demonstrating eligible expenditures equal to or greater than the amount of assistance requested. And again, each property is eligible for a maximum amount, which we'll show you here in a minute. All improvements must comply with applicable building, zoning, floodplain, and permitting requirements. Property tax and utility accounts must remain current during the participation in the program, and the property must be free of liens associated with work done under this program. Eligible improvements would include things like structural repairs, reconstruction, elevation or flood mitigation improvements, replacement of damaged residential structures or fixtures, site restoration associated with reconstruction, utility reconnects, new residential construction replacing flood damaged structures. The intent of this program from a city perspective is to accelerate neighborhood recovery and stabilization, and we're seeing that right now. with the rebuilding of the roads, people rebuilding their properties, the grading of the lots. It will restore lost taxable valuation. It'll reduce long-term neighborhood blight and vacancy risks and reestablish financial sustainability of the affected areas. If you look at that map there, none of the city properties are included or eligible for the program. If you want to, is there any questions on that? And then we'll bring up the spreadsheet. Before we do that, could you bring up the debt, cash flow and debt one? It's in the, no, it's under the meeting file, 5.3 or 8.3, new folder. Cash flow loan, that second one. So as I explained to you, there's $2 million that this TIF will generate. I've calculated the eligibility for each property based on 2 million less the loan servicing costs and interest. If you look at 1.5, total of the 10 payments will be 2,079,000. That leaves us 1.5 million that we can distribute through this program. If you want to scroll down a little further, there's the loan payments. You'll note that the next graph is the cash flow of the TIF. So the TIF won't be generating enough cash year by year to service that debt, so we'll have to supplement it through the general fund in the first, it's like 9, 10 years. But after that, it will recoup. The loan will be paid off and we'll recoup the general funds portion of that. So with that, I think I put in $1.443 million. The difference between that and the $2 million that the TIF will generate is for interest and administrative costs. So if you could bring up the spreadsheet, I'll show you kind of what the properties are eligible for.
Is that what that,
No, it's an Excel, that one. It's an Excel.
I can't.
It's that Excel spreadsheet.
I can't see what's in Excel.
It's the second one.
The second one, okay.
Let's say Excel. So on the left column is the properties. The original valuation of 2024 prior to the flood, the post-flood elevation or valuation, that creates the increment in the 7.37, for example, in that first one. That property has 7.37 of the increment, the $6 million increment, resulting in a maximum eligibility cost of 100. They'd be eligible for 106, whatever that says. Each property is figured that way, so you can see all the properties and what they would be eligible for if they can prove that they owned it during the flood or at the flood. If they had all the receipts, all that stuff, they would be eligible for those items on under column O. They would be eligible for that amount. There are some properties, like I'll use 33 North Shore, for example, is not eligible. Oh, go down the other way. A little more. The other way. I just seen it right there. Line 21. That property was purchased, so that, let's say 35,000 will not be distributed to that. So there's about $250,000 worth of distribution that's not going to be distributed because the people didn't own the property at the time of the flood. And what I would think is we'll go through this list, distribute the money we can, and the money we have left over, I would come back to the commission and say, hey, here's $250,000 that was not used, or maybe it's more, maybe it's less. Well, it's probably more than less, but, and then you can decide whether you want to use it just to pay off the TIF loan, or if you want to distribute in another manner. We have talked to a couple of banks about borrowing that 1.5 million, and that's not going to be an issue. We've also talked to them about helping us administrate the loans. That's a little more complicated because of some of their regulatory requirements, but I think with some technical assistance from the banks, we should be able to do that in-house to a, because a lot of these loans will be forgiven, because the value we're using for forgiveness is the 2024 value. So, I mean, they're going to exceed that at some point in the first couple of years, as long as they've done their improvements. If they haven't done any improvements, then they're not eligible. They just have to show us the receipts or whatever on the dollars they spent. So I have also developed a set of administrative rules to administrate this program that I can bring forward at a later time, once we get the guidelines set. So I guess the reason for bringing it today is just kind of introduce it publicly and to get any comment that you might have on the guidelines themselves and how they would be distributed, and try to answer any questions. I would like to try to bring this back probably the first meeting in September for formal approval. By that time, we will have put together some loans and that kind of stuff to finance it, and we can approve the package together, the loan and the guidelines and administrative rules. Any questions? Again, it's an objective formula based on each property's incremental value, incremental improvement in value from the 2024 flood. If you scroll down to the end, there are some properties that are didn't have any change, so they are not eligible for any reimbursement. They didn't realize any taxable loss. And we'll have to, like I said, we'll have to budget some cash from the general fund to supplement the TIF cash flow in the early years, but that will pay it back. I did not account for that cost of money. I just accounted for what it cost us to administrate it and the interest that we would pay on the loan.
Nice work.
Good?
Any other questions on that? All right. We'll look at that again in September.
Yep.
And if anybody in the general public has any input on this, of things that they have questions about, please let one of us know or Jeff know, because this program is for the people in our community, and we very much want your feedback on how we can make this program better. So I think Jeff has done a great job putting it together.
All right. Moving on to planning and zoning. Approval of lots 15A, B, 16A, B, Union Crossing First Edition.
All right, thank you, Chris. At our July 22nd meeting, we reviewed and considered two plats, both in the Union Crossing addition to North Sioux City, submitted by Brandon Hohenstein. They're both duplex lots that have since been built on, and Brandon is proposing to divide these lots on the common lot line between the party walls of these duplexes now that the construction has occurred. Stockwell engineers reviewed it, didn't have any issues with the plats themselves. City administration's been reviewed, and the planning commission passed them at the July 22nd meeting.
So the surveyor surveyed in the shared wall,
Yes.
and that's what designated the property line.
Mhm.
And there'll be others all along there that will do the same process, but.
I'll make the motion to approve the plats as presented.
I'll second it.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carries.
Thanks.
All right, next item, Resolution 2026-23, a resolution of the North Sioux City Commission adopting the Safe Streets for All Comprehensive Action Plan.
Yeah, we had a presentation last meeting on what was found. The local plan is attached to this memo, but you can kind of see what the local plan priorities are there, the 5 bullet points. And what the resolution does is we adopt this plan, and then we can use it for our future CIP planning as we put together other solutions. These solutions, the solutions we actually go by might not look anything like what they've presented here, but at least this has taken public input, the crash data, and all the other quantitative stuff to kind of identify where our priorities should be, and those local plan priorities as well, where we will be working towards improvements that you will approve as part of the capital improvement plan or as part of standalone projects that we bring forward to you. Approving the resolution makes us also eligible for some federal and state funding. It's not a lot of money, but it is something, so I would recommend approval.
All right, is there a motion to approve Resolution 2026-23?
I will make the motion to approve Resolution 2026-23.
Second.
Any other discussion?
I just have a question.
It says council
It says
everywhere on
council
there.
instead of commission. Is that something that we need to address?
It's been fixed and the correct one is on mayor's desk for signature.
I think that's fine.
I know we spend every day trying to tell people we're not a council any longer, we're a commission. Just ask the question.
CCOG must not have got it memo, but
Yep.
we've
No,
got
I
it corrected
had it-
before
I had it-
signature and before publication, so we're fine.
I had it typed for me, and I did not make that change when I gave it to him, so it's my bad.
So we have a motion. Did we have a second? We have a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next up, North Shore Bypass update. Consideration of amendment number 2 for design engineering.
So we are working towards getting this to bid in mid to late September. One of the processes we have to go through now is taking the plan set and updating them to reflect all of DOT's standard changes since we've approved these back in '25. They've had changes in their standards, so now Stockwell is taking the plans and updating those. To do that, there needed to be a change order in the cost, which is outlined here. The amount is $29,698.28. DOT has already given them the verbal go-ahead, I might note, to try to get this to their bid goal of mid to late September. And this will be, that 29,000 will be included in the total project cost, which is going to be paid for by our earmark grant, plus the $6 million in CDBG-DR.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign. Okay, motion carries. Next up, approval of bills. Is there a motion to approve the bills?
I'll make a motion to approve the bills.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And do we have a legal matter to discuss?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll look for a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Second.
It's pursuant to.
Pursuant to SDCL 1-25-2.
Section 3.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, move into executive session. we need a motion to close the executive session.
So moved.
Second.
1 second. All in favor, say aye.
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 All right. Then we need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Meeting is adjourned.
So I must have not had that last gentleman's